You know that feeling when you meet someone and they seem perfect? Almost too good to be true? It's this incredibly powerful, intoxicating rush. But today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a very sophisticated manipulation tactic that kicks off just like a fairy tale, but is actually designed to create confusion, dependency, and ultimately control. So, let's dive in.
Wow, that quote really captures it, doesn't it? That initial rush, this overwhelming wave of affection and attention that just makes you feel so incredibly special. But this intense pursuit, this feeling of being the chosen one, it actually has a name.
So yeah, it's called love bombing, and we have to be crystal clear about this. It is not genuine affection. It's a strategy. It's all about bypassing your natural defenses, your critical thinking, by making you feel like you are the most understood person on the entire planet. It's a tool, plain and simple, to get you hooked, and to get you hooked fast.
Right. And this whole initial phase is often supercharged by another tactic, one that cleverly uses your own hopes and dreams for the future to lock you into the present.
Future faking is just so wickedly effective because it taps right into your deepest desires. They'll paint these beautiful pictures of wedding plans, or the house you're gonna buy, or what you'll name your kids, all to get you to commit right now. But these aren't just empty promises, they're anchors. They are designed to keep you tethered right before the whole dynamic goes sour.
So once you're fully invested in this perfect, fake future they've sold you on, that's when the dynamic starts to shift. The fairy tale begins to unravel, and what it reveals is a predictable and incredibly destructive pattern.
This right here, this is the playbook. It's a 4-stage cycle that is literally engineered to destabilize your sense of reality, to erode your self-worth, and to make you completely dependent on them. Let's break down exactly how it works.
The whiplash between these stages is the whole point. You go from feeling like their soulmate to feeling completely worthless, and that confusion is designed to make you question your own memory. You start thinking, wait, if I just try a little harder, maybe I can get back to that amazing idealized phase. And that's exactly where they want you, always trying to get back to the beginning.
Now, hearing all this, there's a really natural question that comes up. If this cycle is so painful and so predictable, why is it so hard to break free?
And the answer has absolutely nothing to do with weakness or a lack of willpower. The answer is a powerful neurobiological trap that literally gets wired into your brain and your nervous system.
It's called a trauma bond, and what it is a survival mechanism that has just gone completely haywire. Your brain becomes deeply, deeply connected to the very person who is the source of your pain, because they are also the intermittent source of your relief. This isn't just a feeling, it's hardcore brain chemistry at work.
And this chart just lays it out so clearly. Healthy love? That builds a stable, safe connection through bonding hormones. A trauma bond, though, it creates a physiological dependency that's a lot like a drug addiction. The intense highs of making up give you this flood of dopamine, and the crushing lows of being devalued spike your stress hormone, cortisol. Your body literally gets addicted to the roller coaster.
And the engine that powers this addiction is something called intermittent reinforcement. The slot machine analogy is perfect. The reason gambling is so addictive is because the rewards are unpredictable. You never know when you'll get that little bit of kindness, so your brain becomes hooked on chasing it. And that unpredictability, bizarrely, strengthens the bond more than consistent affection ever could.
And this is really the heart of the problem. Your logical brain can know 100% that the relationship is toxic, but your body remembers that cycle of danger and relief. It creates this physical, gut-level pull to go back, and it's a survival response that can totally override logic. Okay, so understanding the trap is the first crucial step. The next is learning how to protect yourself and how to disengage from the manipulator's game, especially in those situations where you can't just walk away and go no contact. You have to remember this. Your anger, your hurt, your attempts to defend yourself, it's all fuel for them. Some experts call it narcissistic supply. So the absolute key to protecting yourself, especially if you're co-parenting or in a toxic work environment, is to cut off that fuel supply. Two of the best strategies for this are called gray rock and yellow rock. And these are not about being passive at all. This is about strategic disengagement. You are actively choosing to become boring and totally unrewarding to the manipulator.
So with the gray rock method, the goal is to make yourself as emotionally uninteresting as, well, a plain gray rock. You give short answers. Okay, I see. You never justify, argue, defend, or explain anything.
Now be ready, because they will probably try harder at first to get a reaction. That's called an extinction burst. But if you stick with it and just stay boring, they will eventually lose interest and go look for their fuel somewhere else.
Breaking free from this cycle is a truly monumental achievement, but the journey doesn't stop there. The path to healing means understanding that the trauma from this isn't just in your head.
Because that trauma bond gets wired directly into your nervous system. Real healing has to be what we call a bottom-up process. It means that just talking about what happened isn't always enough. You have to work with your body to release that stored trauma and help your system regulate again.
And here's the good news. Healing is absolutely possible, but you need the right tools. Things like trauma-informed therapy are crucial. Modalities like EMDR can be a game changer for processing those trapped memories. And of course, setting firm, non-negotiable boundaries and reconnecting with your support system. Those are essential for rebuilding your life.
Please, if you take away one thing, let it be this. You are not to blame for this. Reacting to a sophisticated manipulation campaign doesn't say anything about your intelligence or your worth. It's proof of how well these tactics exploit our basic human need for connection. Your resilience in surviving this is what truly defines you.
You see, recognizing these patterns isn't about blaming anyone. It's about gaining power. This knowledge is your first step to reclaiming your story, protecting your energy, and building a future where love is actually about genuine respect and connection, not control.